Hey guys, and welcome back onto my YouTube channel. So today I want to briefly discuss a misconception that some people have about Christianity, which is this idea that all Christians are judgmental and hypocritical. This misconception assumes that Christians are quick to judge others' behaviours, their beliefs, while failing to essentially live up to their own moral standards. While I must add, it is true that some individuals claiming to be Christians may exhibit judgmental or hypocritical behaviour, it is important to recognise that this does not accurately represent the teachings of Christianity or the attitudes of all believers, and it sure as hell doesn't represent mine. In fact, such behaviour goes against the core principles and teachings of Jesus. Jesus actually emphasizes love, compassion, and forgiveness throughout his entire ministry, and he taught his followers not to judge others, but to treat them with kindness and understanding. Even Jesus himself didn't come to judge the world, for it says in John 3 verse 17, "For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him." And in Matthew 7 verse 1 to 5, Jesus highlights that we should demonstrate humility, that we should demonstrate love, that we should not judge one another, and actually we should self-reflect and look at ourselves before judging and looking on someone else. In fact, it even says in Matthew 7 that actually we are hypocrites if we cannot even take the speck out of our own eye before we look to take the speck out of someone else's eye. Apostle Paul also encourages Christians to examine themselves and their own actions rather than focusing on the faults of others. In fact, in Galatians chapter 6 verse 4 to 5, it actually states each one should test their own actions, then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. But each one should carry their own load, which essentially shows us that the Christian faith calls for self-examination and a recognition of one's own need for grace and forgiveness. So it's important to remember that no one is perfect, and Christians are definitely not exempt from making mistakes or struggling with their own shortcomings. Otherwise, we wouldn't need Jesus. Christianity teaches the concept of grace, which emphasizes that actually all people fall short of God's standard and are in need of his mercy. In fact, genuine Christians recognize their imperfections and seek to grow in their faith and character, relying on God's grace to transform their lives. So essentially, while there may be instances where Christians fail to live up to their ideals, it isn't fair to generalize and assume that all Christians are judgmental or hypocritical. And it is essential to approach individuals and their actions on a case-by-case basis by considering the core teachings of Christianity rather than focusing on stereotypes or misconceptions. I hope you found this video helpful. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.